what we're talking about today is Kelsey's experience working with the life coach, Jessica Ruger. So, Kelsey, what I want to know is what drew you to work with Jess initially, and where were you physically, mentally, emotionally at that time?
Yeah, so when I first decided to kind of pull the trigger and work with Jessica, to be honest, like what I always come back to is I was kind of just like tired of my own bullshit, kind of my own excuses. I'd been to therapy, I'd done a lot of things, I don't know, tried working out and writing manifestation, post-it notes and everything like that, but I think you get to a point in your life where you're like, all right, I really need someone to push me in out of my comfort zone, but in areas where I wasn't used to doing that. So that meant like really sitting with, my fear-based beliefs, my self-limiting beliefs, and having someone kind of meet them with compassion and sort of just rearrange the way I thought about things.
Maybe even in areas that you weren't even aware, too.
Yeah, and life coaching too is an investment, and I wasn't like honestly fully prepared to kind of sit with that, but like the money that you put into yourself really does come back to you, and it kind of changed my whole opinion on money as well. So, yeah.
Cool. Mm-hmm. Can you share a moment in your journey with Jess where you felt like a major breakthrough or shift?
Yeah, so when you start with Jessica, you write a list of 10 things you choose to experience. And I remember I wrote down number 8, I choose to tour with the band that I love across the country making a lot of money. And I wrote that down and I was like, that will never happen, because some dreams you write down and you're like, oh, that's too big. And then it literally happened. And so I feel like a point in my journey, I remember I was having a freak out. I was like, I don't know how I'm going to pay this month. I literally have no idea. And she's like, okay, sit with that emotion, find it in your body, feel it, and surrender to it. And honestly, like there are parts of therapy, or not therapy, life coaching where you're like, this isn't going to work. This is a bunch of hocus pocus. Like I'm so tired of her telling me the same thing. And I'm sitting in my car and I did the exercise. And as soon as I like surrendered, I was sitting in my car near the Ravenel Bridge, like 10 people texted me instantly, and all things to help me get to my goal. And I was like, wow, this is crazy, but I just remembered then I was like, I have to like accept this experience and like do the work. So
Incredible. How would you describe the way that Jess holds space for you during a session?
Jessica is really, really good at pushing you to see the real reason you're feeling something as opposed to the reason that you think you are. She can really just peel back layers and get to the root that, yeah, we all have blind spots as people. Like we've been doing our lives the same way our whole lives, and she offers a new way to see things that you have to integrate. It's not like supernatural at first because in society we're conditioned to do everything reverse, I feel like, but I think she's just really good at getting you back to like your innate voice and then giving you steps to walk that path. So
Totally agree. And like the way that she helps you actually embody the changes rather than just in your mind, but like feel something release in your physical body is so magical.
Yeah, she's so good at like pairing the thought with like the physical manifestation, and I think that's really the difference that you get with Jessica. It's different than other things that you'll get with like therapists, but
Totally agreed.
yeah.
So if someone were on the fence, if they had some resistance in investing with working with Jess, what would you want them to know?
I think that when you're at that place, you just have to ask yourself, like, am I worth this investment? And when you put it in that way, it's like you're always worth the investment. It's just you have to be willing to surrender to the experience. I mean, it's really up to you, but she will lead you every step of the way. And, like, speaking from my experience, like, everything came back to me, so... And I was, like, someone who was very, like, scarcity mindset, so...
Yeah.
That's what I would say. You just have to be willing to surrender, and are you willing to put money on yourself? And that's ultimately your call, but it always works out.
Yeah, knowing your worth.
Yeah.
Totally. So what does life feel like for you now compared to before you worked with Jess?
Yeah, I feel like something that I think about all the time is you were talking earlier about how you wake up in the morning and you're like excited. It's like when you do realize that you can create whatever it is you want to create, you're not like stuck in this washing machine of like anxiety and depression. You're like, wait, actually, all I have to do is just feel good and like live my life with integrity, and then the rest will wrinkle itself out, you know? Like when you find a place of center and a place of like, this is really what I'm saying, and you stop like being a martyr for the rat race and like I don't know, you don't have to like hustle harder. You can just be and make the changes that feel good to you, and it will work out for you. So I feel like since I made that shift, I don't know, just like amazing things have walked into my life, like things I never would have expected. And I think that's the thing she always says is like, let this be it or better.
Yeah.
And just like that or better is like the whole thing, you know?
It always turns out better than you imagined.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you so much for sharing your experience.
Yeah.